Stop everything you are doing right now and just listen to me. Taurus, you didn't click on this video by chance. The exact cycle you're going through right now, the invisible weight you are feeling today, brought you here. I feel the exhaustion in your spirit, the silent waiting, and the heavy burden you have been carrying without ever asking for help. If you leave now, you might miss the exact revelation that explains why your life has felt so stuck and how the universe is finally turning the page for you. The visible pain is the reality of the Taurus who sustains everyone else, who waits patiently for years, yet seems to face the same walls and delays every single time they try to move forward. It is not just another phase of struggle, bad luck, or a random surge of urgency. It is a profound karmic turning point where old debts are finally being settled and your path is being cleared. It is exactly like standing before the heavy stone door of an ancient vault. For years you pushed against it, but it wouldn't budge because it was locked from the inside by a karmic debt. You will discover why the heavy burden you have been carrying was never truly yours to keep. You will understand the exact cosmic sign that proves your turning point has finally arrived. You will see how a hidden karmic debt has been secretly blocking your harvest for years. You will learn how to release this invisible weight and finally claim what is rightfully yours. And before this message closes, I will say a sentence about your life that you will carry with you for the next few months. Have you ever felt that there is a heavy pressure on your shoulders that seems to make no sense? As if you are carrying the weight of a turning point that refuses to happen. As if something inside you knows there is a hidden spiritual debt holding you back, but your mind hasn't been able to grasp it yet. And what if this endless waiting and exhausting repetition isn't bad luck, but a sign that the universe is trying to reveal the exact nature of this massive turning point in your Taurus journey? Because while many just see stubborn delays, few realize that this heavy phase can carry a deep karmic lesson, a powerful energetic clearing, and a spiritual answer that hasn't been understood yet. But what if the great turning point lies in this revelation that you haven't been able to apply yet? Now think with me. Why do certain areas seem stuck even though I try to do everything right? What if every delayed reward, every exhausting push, every time you held on too tight, every silent fear of failing, every lonely struggle, and this constant sensation of carrying more than your fair share were actually signs of a karmic debt that you have postponed for far too long? It was looking for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Karmic Debt of Taurus. This digital book is not just a read, it is a revelation created for Taurus who desire to understand the spiritual patterns repeating in your life, break the cycles of guilt, stubbornness, and fear, and strengthen your inner energy to see clearly what the universe is finally showing you. Many Taurus already feel they need to change the way they view their blockages, but they haven't yet made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. But pay attention, access could be taken offline at any moment. It reveals reflections, hidden signs and directions that can transform the way you navigate this cycle. Do not wait for another exhausting cycle to repeat before seeking this understanding. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the heaviest burden of your life might be exactly where the universe is preparing your greatest release. If this first word has already touched something within you, write "my turning point" down below. Not for my sake, but because another Taurus who is standing exactly where you were a year ago needs this message to find them tonight. This path of release has a map, and it is already within your reach. In the first pinned comment, I will come back to it shortly, and if for some reason you are not interested or cannot acquire the digital book right now, there is still another open door for you. I do not receive a single cent for any of these messages I deliver here every day. Nothing at all, and yet they keep coming out every day for you and for every Taurus who still needs to be reached. If at any moment your heart wishes to give back a little of what you have received, there is a voluntary donation link open in the first pinned comment right below the book. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any amount your heart points to. That is what keeps this channel standing. That is what makes the next message reach another Taurus tomorrow, exactly as it reached you today. I am waiting for you there, Taurus. I still haven't told you the most important thing. There are 4 signs that this cycle has already started to turn, and you will recognize at least one of them. Let's lower the volume of the outside world. Let's step away from the demands and the endless responsibilities for just a second, Taurus. You have been running on empty for so long, trying to keep everything together, that you might not even realize how drastically your own energy has shifted recently. Notice how your body reacts to what I am going to say right now. I want you to look back at the past few weeks, not at the loud events, but at the silent moments when nobody else was watching. There are 4 distinct signs that this cycle has already started to turn, and the universe has been placing them right in front of you. Think about that late Tuesday evening when you sat in your car in the driveway. You were staring blankly at the steering wheel, feeling completely drained before even walking into the house. For some of you, it happened after work. For others, it was simply the crushing weight of another day of holding the sky up for everyone else. That wasn't just physical fatigue catching up to you, it was the karmic debt physically weighing on your energy. You called it a stubborn delay, a moment where you just couldn't move. The universe called it the deepening of your roots before the ultimate turning point. Then came that sudden urge to reorganize your old documents or throw away things you've kept for years, happening right after you woke up suddenly at 3 a.m. You felt an unexplainable restlessness, a need to clear out physical space in the dead of night. That wasn't just insomnia or a random burst of nervous cleaning. It was your soul trying to clear space for the turning point that is arriving. You called it a painful ending. The universe called it the final karmic payment, making the necessary room for the harvest you have been waiting for. Do you remember the sharp, unexplainable tightness in your chest when someone offered you help last week? Your very first instinct was to put up a wall and say, "I've got it," rejecting the hand extended to you. That wasn't just your fierce Taurus independence keeping you safe. It was the old cycle resisting the release. You called it your own failure to push harder, a guilt that you should be able to handle it all by yourself. The universe called it the exact moment you needed to surrender the weight, exposing the block that keeps you from receiving. And finally, there was that quiet moment on Sunday morning. You were holding your coffee cup, looking out the window, and you felt a strange, calm certainty that a massive change is coming, even without a single shred of proof. That wasn't your imagination playing tricks on you to make the endless waiting easier. It was the universe confirming the shift. The heavy stone door was already beginning to unlock, echoing a deep truth that your mind is just now catching up to. These signs have a common origin, and it has a name. But before the name, you need something else. There is a path of release, and I'm going to open it right now, before the name, before the word, because anyone carrying an ancient, heavy debt needs relief before receiving the revelation. Stay here. And this is exactly where the path of release opens. The signs that just hit you did not hit you by chance, Taurus. They are the undeniable tremors of an old world finally breaking apart. That familiar exhaustion that isn't from physical work. It's much older. It's your soul demanding a settlement no one taught you how to make. It feels exactly as if something deep inside you knows there is a hidden spiritual debt holding you back, an ancient contract you never signed but have been paying for anyway. But your conscious mind hasn't been able to grasp the full extent of it yet. And what if this endless waiting, this exhausting repetition, and these walls that keep rising right before you reach the finish line aren't bad luck, but a sign that the universe is aggressively trying to reveal the exact nature of this massive turning point in your Taurus journey? I have seen Taurus who were standing exactly where you are right now. They were carrying the same invisible weight, putting on the same brave face for their families, and silently calculating how much more pressure they could endure before breaking entirely. I have watched them try to fix everyone else's problems, hoping that if they just worked hard enough, if they just proved their loyalty one more time, the universe would finally release their own blockages. But the blockages never lift through sheer force. The karmic debt does not care how strong your shoulders are. It only cares that the balance is finally recognized. The promotions that vanished at the last second. The people who walked away when you needed them most. The quiet feeling of paying for a mistake you don't remember making. These are not coincidences, Taurus. They are the strict symptoms of an unrecognized karmic scale demanding a final resolution. It was looking for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Karmic Debt of Taurus. This is not a book of gentle comforts or empty promises. It is a profound spiritual diagnostic, that takes you directly to the root of this invisible weight. It maps out exactly how your stubborn loyalty and your silent endurance became the perfect anchor for an old repeating cycle. It reveals the exact mechanism of your spiritual debts, showing you step by step how to release the burdens that do not belong to you without feeling a shred of guilt or fear of losing control. Because there is an absolute law at play here. The universe never forces a turning point before the hidden debt is seen. But once the scales balance, nothing can stop the heavy door from opening. This cosmic window is unlocking right now, and this specific configuration does not wait for those who choose to remain asleep. Every single day you spend without this path is another day carrying an ancient anchor that is not yours to drag. Every cycle you repeat blindly is another harvest delayed, another heavy sacrifice made for people who will not return the favor, and another layer of exhaustion settling into your bones when you should be stepping into your absolute freedom. The digital book is in the first pinned comment. Download it right now while this recognition is still burning alive in your chest and this door is finally unlocked. Step into this revelation. Read what has been hidden from you for decades and secure the complete clearing of this debt that only this exact path fully maps out. Now take a deep breath and look at that massive stone door in your mind once again. For so long, the only language you knew was the language of pushing, enduring, and bracing for the next heavy impact. You believed that if you let go of the door for even a second, everything you built would collapse and everyone relying on you would fall. But the lock has finally clicked. The river beneath your bridge is calming down. You do not need to brace for the storm anymore. The invisible scale has tipped in your favor, and you just need to learn how to stand with empty hands, allowing the door to swing open on its own. Your only task now is to stop resisting the release. And as I had told you earlier, Taurus, besides the digital book that is in the first pinned comment, there is that voluntary donation link open right below the book. I continue to not receive a single cent for each message that leaves here for you. That is why this link exists, so that another Taurus tomorrow finds exactly this message that found you today. Any amount that your heart points to. Every gesture like this keeps our channel standing and makes the next message reach whoever needs it, exactly as it reached you today. What is arriving has a shape, and it has a date. And now, with the path laid out before you, the name descends. You have called it a curse, you have called it bad luck, you have called it your own failure to push harder. But it is not a stubborn delay, it is not a cosmic punishment. It is the scales of the great turning point. This is the specific cosmic window where the long-held imbalance in your life is suddenly corrected. For years, you have been putting more onto the scales than you were taking off. Every time you stayed silent to keep the peace, every time you took on a burden that belonged to someone else, every time you sacrificed your own comfort to make sure someone else didn't fall, the scales tipped further away from your own harvest. The scales of the great turning point is not just a concept, it is an active, living window in time opening right now in your reality. It is the exact moment where the universe steps in and says the debt is paid. You have lived under the illusion that if you just held on a little longer, the reward would come. But the universe never forces a turning point before the hidden debt is seen. And once the scales balance, nothing can stop the heavy stone door from opening. This window of time is your profound karmic turning point, where old debts are finally being settled and your path is being aggressively cleared. Think of an ancient stone bridge spanning a wild, violent river. For decades, it has taken the heavy weight of wooden carts, the relentless pounding of floods, and the endless march of time. It stood in absolute silence, never breaking, absorbing every single impact, simply because it was built to endure. The bridge never asked for a break. It just kept holding the weight of the world above it, ensuring everyone else could cross safely while it remained firmly planted in the storm. But now, the seasons have shifted. The river is calming down into a gentle stream. The storm has broken. The bridge no longer needs to brace for the flood, yet its deep stones still vibrate with the memory of the pressure. It takes time for the ancient structure to realize that the danger has truly passed, and that it no longer needs to hold the sky up. It is exactly where you are right now, Taurus. The time for enduring the heavy weight is over. The scales of the great turning point have balanced the equation. You are still bracing your shoulders, waiting for the next crisis, but you no longer need to brace for impact. The turning point is about to reveal what the calm waters bring. Listen closely, because the universe is speaking directly into your spirit right now. I saw you sitting in your car in the driveway, feeling completely drained before even walking inside, watching you carry the weight of everyone else's world while your own desires were put on hold. It wasn't a punishment. It was the clearing of the path, the gathering of the debt, and the preparation for your turning point. I am not asking you to carry one more ounce of weight, and I am not asking you to prove your strength again. I am asking you to finally open your empty hands and receive the harvest I have been trying to give you. There is a man who carried this exact same karmic weight for years. He built his entire life around fixing other people's problems and acting as the unbreakable anchor for his family, while his own harvest kept getting delayed. He thought his endless patience was a test of strength. He thought that if he just proved his loyalty one more time, his own turning point would arrive. But then he realized that his endurance wasn't a virtue. It was a blind repetition of an old heavy debt. What changed in him was the courage to stop pushing the heavy stone door and finally let the universe turn the key. Once he recognized the scales of the great turning point, his entire reality shifted, not through more exhausting effort, but through the profound surrender of a weight that was never his to keep. You are still processing this right now, feeling that familiar tight knot in your chest slowly untangling as you finally hear the exact words your soul has been waiting for. But stay with me, Taurus. The deepest truth is still ahead, and it has your name. This massive turning point that is rearranging the stars above you is not just an event happening outside of your control. It is the deep, undeniable recognition of who you have had to become just to survive this long. For so long, you have lived inside a heavy role that the universe is finally tearing away, not to leave you empty, but to reveal the profound spiritual identity that has been quietly forged under all that immense pressure. The scales are balancing, but to truly receive what is coming, you must first look at the armor you have been wearing. You have been the silent bearer. Taurus carries, Taurus sustains. Taurus does not ask for help because asking feels like adding a burden to someone else's plate. You absorb the chaos of everyone around you, letting it sink deep into your bones so they could walk freely. But that silent strength became an invisible prison where your own voice was forgotten and where your exhaustion was mistaken for endless resilience. You have been the patient builder. You laid the solid bricks for other people's dreams, waiting quietly for your turn to build your own sanctuary. You believed that endurance was the ultimate currency of the universe, that if you just kept pushing through the delays, the reward would eventually come. Yet your deep vulnerability lies in the silent, terrifying fear that if you stop building for even a second, everything you love will simply fall apart, and you have been the loyal anchor. When the sudden storms hit, everyone instinctively tied their fragile boats to you. You provided the grounding, the stability, and the unwavering presence that kept your world from shattering. But the heaviest truth of an anchor is that it belongs in the dark, cold depths, holding everyone else in the warm sunlight, while it remains unseen, unthanked, and entirely alone. But those ancient roles are over. You are not just a bearer, a builder, or an anchor anymore. You are the one stepping out of the dark depths to finally claim the harvest. Notice your chest right now. Take a deep breath and feel that sudden, quiet warmth spreading right behind your ribs. That warmth has a name, and it is not just relief. It is the feeling of your own soul finally being witnessed, recognized, and crowned with the absolute dignity that this long, exhausting cycle tried so hard to hide from you. But this identity that was just declared over you needs to be sustained, because a Taurus who knows their own value without knowing their own debt goes back to carrying what isn't theirs. That is why the great secret behind the karmic debt of Taurus is waiting for you right now in the first pinned comment. This digital book is the unbreakable foundation of your new reality. It was designed to firmly sustain the new identity that was just declared over your life, so you do not lose it when the world inevitably demands your strength tomorrow morning. The spiritual map you need is all laid out in its pages. Do not wait for the heavy weight to return before learning how to sustain what was just spoken over you. Download your copy now in the first pinned comment. Sustaining the new identity that was just declared over you requires deep spiritual support. And this digital book is exactly what sustains it. I promised I would come back to this. But before we move forward, you need to know exactly how this old cycle will try to return, because it will try. I promised you that you needed to know exactly how this old cycle will try to return, because it absolutely will try. The turning point is here, but the echo of your old karmic debt will try to test your resolve one last time before it finally leaves. There are 3 specific tactics the old cycle will use to pull you back into the heavy lifting, and I am giving you 3 weapons to defeat them right now. The first tactic is the doubt that sounds exactly like your own voice. It is that quiet whisper telling you that this turning point is just an illusion, that you are destined to keep carrying the weight, and that nothing is ever going to change. When this happens, your weapon is the spoken word. You must speak out loud, firmly, and clearly. I am not repeating the past. This breaks the silent grip of the debt by declaring your new boundary into the physical world. The second tactic is the sudden, overwhelming urge to grip tightly onto a small familiar problem just to feel in control again. For some of you, a past situation or person will try to return exactly when you feel the shift happening. For others, a familiar financial fear will whisper in your ear just as the heavy stone door opens, begging you to start fixing things again. Your weapon here is a physical release. Open your physical hands and deliberately drop a small object. Let it fall to the ground. You are signaling to the universe that you no longer need to hold on tightly to feel secure. The third tactic is the heavy, suffocating guilt of finally moving forward without carrying everyone else on your back. The old cycle will try to make you feel selfish for finally stepping through the open door while others remain behind. Your weapon against this guilt is a written decree. Take a piece of paper and write down, "My release harms no one," and keep it with you in your pocket. That piece of paper is your undeniable proof that letting go of the debt is not a betrayal of those you love. It is the ultimate freedom for both you and them. These 3 weapons protect you from what I managed to show you today. But the cycle has more layers than can fit in one video. The karmic roots go deep, and the echo of the debt will try to find new ways to disguise itself as your own responsibility. Because when the stubborn grip tightens again, when the delay feels like a punishment, when the sudden loss hits without warning, you will realize that immediate weapons are not enough to sustain your freedom. This is exactly why you need the great secret behind the karmic debt of Taurus. This digital book is the full, complete map of release that you need, so this cycle never catches you off guard again. It reveals every hidden mechanism the universe uses to clear your path. I am not rushing you. I am warning you. Do not wait for the next heavy blow to finally open the map. This cosmic window of release is open right now, and it simply does not wait for those who hesitate when the path is already clear. Go to the first pinned comment right now and download your digital book to protect what you have just gained. Now I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. I need you to stop calculating the next move for just a second. I know your mind is constantly scanning the horizon for the next problem you need to solve, but right now, you need to stop. Wherever you are in this moment, I want you to intentionally lower your guard. Drop your shoulders away from your ears, unclench your jaw, take one slow, deep breath and let the air out completely. You have spent so many years bracing for the next heavy impact, anticipating the next crisis, that your very bones have forgotten what it feels like to just stand still without holding up the sky. You do not need to protect anyone right now. You do not need to fix anything right now. Give yourself the rare permission to just be here, entirely present. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are standing right in front of that massive, heavy stone door of the ancient vault. You have been pushing against it for years, hoping sheer force would eventually break it open. Your hands are tired, your shoulders ache, and your spirit is bruised from the relentless pressure. Now, I want you to stop pushing. Take a deep breath. Let your arms fall to your sides. Take one deliberate step back. Hear that deep echoing click from within the cold stone as the lock finally gives way. Watch as the door slowly swings wide open, entirely on its own, revealing a bright, calm, open path ahead. Feel that heavy, ancient weight instantly lift off your shoulders. Your hands are finally empty, completely ready to receive. Open your eyes. You are crossing the threshold right now, Taurus, and you simply cannot take the old burdens into this new space. Release the heavy guilt of finally choosing your own peace over someone else's comfort. Release the quiet fear of failing those who never even noticed how much you sacrificed to keep them safe. Release the ancient karmic debt that you paid for, but that was never truly yours to carry forever. Release the exhausting sensation of having to always carry more than your fair share just to prove your worth. You are stepping out of the shadows and reclaiming your energy. You are no longer the silent bearer who absorbs the chaotic storms of everyone around you while suffering in silence. You are no longer the patient builder who constructs beautiful sanctuaries for others while waiting patiently in the rain. You are no longer the loyal anchor who remains hidden in the dark depths just to keep everyone else's fragile boat steady in the sunlight. You are stepping into the calm waters, entirely free, with a completely cleared path and an abundant harvest waiting specifically for you. You are still processing this profound shift, feeling that familiar knot of relentless responsibility finally untangling deep in your chest. Before sealing this, write down below the name of someone you are carrying through this crossing, or if it is for yourself, write in one sentence what you are waiting for the universe to return to you. I will read it, and you will not write this alone. Do not release this energy just yet. We are not done. Stay with me. The energy that covers your home is now sealed. The relentless effort you have put in for years is now recognized and protected. And the harvest that is finally making its way to you is secured. Listen closely, because the universe is speaking directly into your spirit right now. You have spent so many years asking why your path seemed so much harder than everyone else's, why the rewards were always delayed, and why you had to carry the heaviest end of the load. I heard your silent questions every time you held on too tight, every time you swallowed your exhaustion to keep the peace, and every time you felt the quiet fear of failing those who relied on you. I saw you sitting in your car in the driveway, feeling completely drained before even walking inside. I watched you grip the steering wheel, trying to gather just enough energy to put on a brave face for the people waiting for you. I saw the invisible pressure on your shoulders that made no sense to anyone else, the spiritual debt you were paying on behalf of others, while your own soul was demanding a rest. You thought I was punishing you with endless delays. You thought your stubborn loyalty was failing you, and that if you just pushed harder, the walls would eventually come down. But I was never punishing you. I was waiting for the exact moment the cosmic scales balanced. I was gathering the karmic debt that you had absorbed from everyone else, holding it in the light until you were finally ready to see that it never truly belonged to you. I am stepping in now. The debts you paid in silence are being returned to you as an undeniable harvest. I am removing the heavy, invisible weight that you have dragged for years. The endless waiting is over, and the phase of exhausting repetition has finally broken. I am not asking you to brace for another storm. I am not asking you to build another sanctuary for someone else. I'm asking you to stand with empty hands and receive the turning point I have prepared exclusively for you. The doubt that sounds exactly like your own voice telling you this is an illusion ends here. The sudden urge to grip tightly onto a familiar problem just to feel in control ends here. The heavy, suffocating guilt of finally moving forward without carrying everyone else ends here. Taurus is never late. Taurus is not behind anyone. Taurus arrives right on time. Don't let go yet. The universe has just told you, I saw you sitting in your car in the driveway, feeling completely drained before even walking inside. And that is exactly why I need to remind you of something before sealing this. What was released here today is absolutely real, but that ancient invisible weight will try to sit back on your shoulders tomorrow morning. The routine will try to convince you that nothing has changed, that you still need to be the anchor, and that you still have to pay the heavy toll for everyone else's peace. You need a foundation that does not waver when the old echoes return. That is why the great secret behind the karmic debt of Taurus is waiting for you in the first pinned comment. This digital book is the definitive map to protect and sustain exactly what was freed during this crossing, so you don't lose it tomorrow. It is the solid ground your new identity requires to stand firm when the world inevitably demands your strength again. Do not wait for tomorrow to test the freedom you just gained today. Go to the first pinned comment, download your copy, and secure the clearing of your path once and for all. There are thousands of Taurus listening to this right now, in the exact same silence as you, feeling the exact same profound release. If this voice found you today, subscribe to the channel, not for numbers, but because the next message in this series will look specifically for those who have already crossed this first one. You are part of a wave of realization, and you do not have to walk this path alone. In the next video of this series, I am going to show you the exact sign that appears 3 days before a karmic debt is completely erased, and why almost every Taurus ignores it. Do not miss it. And still in this video, Taurus, before I seal this hour with you, I come back one last time to this request. You have walked with me this far. You have crossed every word, every revelation, every sign. And if at any moment of this message you felt the universe touch you, you know this video was not an accident. The voluntary donation link remains open in the first pinned comment right below the digital book. Not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as a giving back from the one who received to the source this message came from. Any amount your heart points to, and the universe sees every gesture. The universe sees, and the universe multiplies over your home, over your days, over what you don't even know is about to arrive. This was my last request. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much. And when the old weight tries to return and whisper in your ear, remember that the answer has a name, the great secret of the karmic debt, and it is already within your reach. You are standing before the heavy stone door of the ancient vault, but you are no longer pushing. The lock has clicked. The heavy stone is swinging wide open on its own, revealing a bright, calm, entirely clear path. Now, you can let go. This message is complete. What was seen was seen. What was settled was settled. Walk light, Taurus.